Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
When I say that, Sam, the head football coach at Arkansas, I mean, how does that resonate with you? I mean, you and I had a conversation a long time ago, but it's a reality. I mean, how does that resonate with when you hear that head coach at the University of Arkansas?
I don't know. It hits me as an honor. Sometimes it hits me as really, and sometimes it hits me kind of scary, well, we got to do this. But it's truly an honor that each and every day I feel grateful for. I mean, I really do, and grateful for the men around me and certainly the state of Arkansas. People are so different here, and so passionate, so caring. And I can't tell you how many times in our staff meeting I've said that's an Arkansas thing, and it's always in a positive way. But people, they say, well, no, I ran into Walmart and this happened. I say, that's Arkansas. You're welcome. You're welcome that you were able to come to our state. So yeah, it's been overwhelming a little bit, and it's been an honor.
Talk about that process. Must have been pretty exciting for you. You get done with the SEC championship game on a Saturday, and then almost within 48 hours, you're here in Fayetteville being announced as the head coach. Talk about that process.
Well, it was. There's little rumblings here and there during the week of the SEC championship game, and then. On Sunday is when everything really kind of got rolling, and they came to see Jamie and I and sat out in our home and wanted to visit a little bit. And of course we were excited. To be honest with you, my hair was a little too long, so between working there at Georgia and Hunter and John and Steve Cox coming to the house, I had to get a haircut. So I went to Supercuts, and I put my cell number in. I was number 19. and so I was 19, and I had 59-minute wait, and I had about an hour and 45 minutes before they were going to get to the house. But they came in the house, and we visited and interviewed or talked or whatever you want to call it. And then after that, maybe an hour into the conversation, Jamie and I was offered a head coaching job here at Arkansas, and I went limp. I mean, I just, until you really hear it, it doesn't really sink in. And I thought I didn't figure they was going to fly out there not to, I'd have to mess it up. But to hear it was incredible. And then we had a little bit of time after that to go call my 3 sisters and my brother and some, Todd Ross and Brandon Adams, guys that mean a lot to me. And we were able to talk to them, and it was a exciting, incredible day and moment. And then next thing you know, we're flying in here and talking to the team that night. So it all happened really fast.
The part I wanted that stood out to me, you stepped to the podium to be named the head coach, and just the instant emotion. Where did that come from?
Well, I think a lot of it came from many years of wanting something like this, but it was University of Arkansas. It was just different. I mean, I had wanted to be a head coach for a long time, but Arkansas, I mean, come on. So it was gratifying. I think part of it, when I first took the job here at Arkansas, and to see my mother and father's face and how excited they were that I was here as the O-line coach, and then to come back as the head coach and being able to talk to my brother and my three.
Welcome in. It's our Friday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479, 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we let you hear our sit-down. For those that may not have gotten a chance to check us out with our one-on-one we had with Sam several weeks ago, we'll be playing that entire interview or as much as we can get in for the duration of this show in between our breaks. But real quick, want to get everybody set up. As you know, we've been on the Hall guys right now, with Arkansas not being able to be out on the practice field, or coaches out being able to evaluate, and on the basketball side of things as well. We're going to talk a little football as Coach Sam Pittman and his amazing staff of recruiters have really made an impact on the 21, but more so the 2022 class. So we're going to have a plethora of the 2022 Hall guys, because you hear me say it all the time, they don't stop watching. And at the 1:15 hour, we're going to be joined by Quinshon Judkins of Pike Road, Alabama, Pike Road High School, the big 2022 running back. He's going to come on and we're going to talk the Razorbacks, Jimmy Smith, and a lot of other schools that the big-time running back has on his priority list. And then at the 1:30 hour, we're heading all the way to Orlando, Florida. Boone High School, we're going to come up with 2022 five-star defensive line prospect, Shambre Jackson. We'll talk to him about his relationship with Coach Sam Pittman and much more. And then we'll close it out by heading up to Ponchatoula, Louisiana, to look for a boot hog, because the Hall guys never stop watching. I keep telling you that. Jacoby Mathews, the five-star safety in the 2022 class, he'll be joining us to talk about his relationship that Coach Sam Carter's starting to build. All that's coming up, but I really quickly want to go over to my producer, co-host, the man behind the scenes, D. Johnson. What's up, my man?
Not much. Got a lot going over here going on today. We got a press conference with the players going on right now. So it's a lot of interesting things going on behind the scenes, man. And I just want to say technology is a beautiful thing.
Right.
It's crazy how we're still able to conduct our everyday lives through technology. Just talking to the players, still touching bases with a lot of the media members. And it's just great still interacting with our fans, even though they're not in Fayetteville. So it's great just to still be a part of the Razorback family.
And we will have audio starting next week of the player availability that we've been made privy to due to teleconference. We are in the process of recording that as it is taking place during our show hour. But real quick, before we get on to our guest, Demetrius, can you tell the listeners that may be trying to catch our show, what are the platforms that you can catch OTH on?
Oh, definitely. You can check us out on YouTube at On the Hill Sports Talk LLC. You also can check us out on Sauced Up Entertainment. Those are the YouTube platforms, and the streaming platforms are Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Google Play. So any major streaming platform, you can just search On the Hill Sports Talk and we will pop up.
Well, we're going to continue to let you hear our sit down with the head hall, the pit boss, Sam Pittman, and then we'll be back as we're going to head up to Pike Road, Alabama, and catch up with big-time 2022 running back Quinshon Judkins. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins, and it's the Hall Guy segment on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
Grew up across the state, but close, 75 miles from here at Grove, Oklahoma. So, but I think all that happened for a reason, and if you really want to know the truth, every fan base is passionate about whoever they love, Georgia fans, Georgia or Georgia Tech or whoever they may be, or Oklahoma State or Tulsa or whoever, and of course we have Arkansas State here as well. But in the state, if you're a Razorback, you've probably been a Razorback for many, many years, and you're born a Razorback. And so those things are so unique here. The people are so kind, and to be honest with you, I want to be the guy that came in here and we were able to turn the program back to where the University of Arkansas should be. And I wanted that burden on my shoulders. I wanted it, because I knew I could hire people around me that felt the same way, that could coach and recruit. And we've done that. And so I wanted that pressure. I certainly have it, but I wanted it.
Initially, the first day on the job, Brad Davis, the guy that you recruited to Oklahoma, coached. He was in the building, but nobody knew Brad was in Fayetteville. Talk about that staff, and why was Coach Davis the first hire that you brought to Fayetteville?
Well, Brad, I knew, in my opinion, that he's the top offensive line coach in the country. I knew who he was. To be honest with you, I feel like Brad's my son. I mean, I do, and I know he's not. He's got a wonderful mom and dad. But I felt that way about him. I've loved him for a long, long time, since he was 18 years old, and I've been involved in his coaching searches, and hopefully I had some influence in some of the jobs that he was able to get.
Welcome back. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. It's the Hall Guy segment, as I keep telling you. They don't ever stop looking. You can catch us here on KDSJ 479 from 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. But, Sam Pittman and his new staff, several weeks ago, we were made privy to a teleconference, and Coach Pittman said they were really lagging in the 2022 class as far as prospects, and they got on it, and I mean they really got on it, and it has not stopped us. They made their way all the way to Pike Road, Alabama, where they made a new offer to big-time 2022 running back Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon, welcome to OTH, my man.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Doing very well. Talk about the new offer that you received yesterday from the University of Arkansas and Coach Pittman, and also too, who are some of the other schools that are really showing heavy interest so early heading into your junior season?
The offer that I got from Coach Pittman yesterday, it was a big time offer for me, knowing that Arkansas was an SEC school, and a lot of other schools that are showing interest are, I say, Clemson, Alabama, South Carolina, Ohio State, and Oregon.
Now you, a very versatile athlete, Q.
Yes, sir.
What are coaches that have extended offers and coaches that are starting to come in? Because I know this process is going to, more and more offers, more and more options. What are the coaches recruiting you as an athlete or as just a straight running back?
Coaches are recruiting me only as a straight running back.
What do you feel good about in your game right now? And Q, what are some things that you're working on? I know we can't take part in spring football your junior year, and get in a actual weight facility. But how are you able to stay in shape? What's that workout plan like?
Staying in shape, most like I'm just working out with a couple of my teammates. Just staying healthy. That's the most important part, and just staying in quarantine, and just staying focused, working out with my teammates, getting the most time in and the most work that I can.
You and I joked about it last night. Where you're located there in Pike Road, Alabama, is pretty much in between Tuscaloosa and Auburn. I mean, how much in-state pressure are you receiving early to stay home and possibly attend one of those two schools? Or Q, is it one of those situations you're just taking it all in, and at the end of the day, you're going to do what's best for yourself and your family?
Right. That's the most thing that I'm doing right now, just taking it in, making the best decision for me and my family. That's what I'm doing right now.
With it, this pandemic breakout enabling a lot of the young fellas like yourself to make unofficial or official visits. When this comes to pass, what are some of the institutions that you plan on getting out to early in your junior season, Quinshon?
Right now, I really haven't decided yet. I'm waiting on everything to die down, since offers are just coming in overnight. So I'm just waiting on everything to die down. Then going to start making my decisions.
In that area now, when all this attention that you're starting to receive, it's going to be attention that you're really going to receive once the football season begins. I mean, do you look at that as extra motivation when you step on the field, knowing that probably all 11 guys have you zeroed in as the guy to stop?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. I know that it's going to be people expecting things from me, watching me, because they've seen the type of player I am and the capable of things that I can do. So yeah.
When you talk to Arkansas coach Jimmy Smith, or what was that conversation like? I know a lot of the coaches now are making contact with the head coaches at the schools, but how did Arkansas describe to you how you would fit in if you do decide to make Fayetteville your home for 3 to 4 years?
They most definitely just told me that they like the way I play the game. They like me as a football player, and they like me as a running back. So they can most definitely just develop me as a player.
I'm going to Pike Road High School, Q. I'm gonna get that popcorn, that soda pop, that 20 ounce of Coke. I'm going to the highest bleacher you guys got in the stadium. Tell me, what type of football player am I going to see for 4 quarters when that ball is kicked off in Quinshon Judkins?
Oh, man, you're going to see an electrifying player that's going to be excited to watch me on that field. Most definitely.
Who are some NFL or collegiate running backs, Q, that you like to pay attention to, kind of study and takes parts of their game and maybe add it into yours?
In the NFL, I like watching Alvin Kamara, guys like Todd Gurley. That's mostly it in NFL. But in college, I watch guys like I would say I kind of watch guys that are in the NFL and their past college film. That's because they're guys that I watch in the NFL. I've just watched their college film and stuff like that.
Right. Now, let's have a little fun and want everybody to know we're talking with Quinshon Judkins of Pike Road, Alabama, Pike Road High School, big-time 4-star 2022 running back prospect here for the University of Arkansas, Coach Jimmy Smith. We're riding around Pike Road.
Yes, sir.
We're in your vehicle. What are the first 5 songs coming off that playlist that we're going to ride to?
Hey, I'm playing all 5 of my songs gonna be by NBA Youngboy. Oh, definitely.
There's nothing wrong with that. Could you tell the listeners, Q, something that about yourself that maybe people don't know that you'd like to share?
I'm kind of a laid back guy. I just play video games a lot and just ball on the field. That's about it.
Well, last question, and Q, I want to thank you for taking time out here on the show today. But when football is done for Quinshon Judkins, he's going to be doing what with his life afterwards?
I plan on living just a regular, normal life, with the family that I have and things like that.
Well, Q, man, let's keep in touch. Congratulations on your offer, man. I got a chance to see that film, and I'm telling you, it's only going to get worse. The more and more offers, because I'm talking about a major prospect, and I just want to thank you for taking time out today to join us here on the Hill.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
That was 2022, big-time 4-star running back out of Pike Road, Alabama, Pike Road High School, Quinshon Judkins. Major prospect, Demetrius, at the running back spot. And I'm telling you, Demetrius, in that 22 class, we've had a chance to view some pretty good football players. Talk about just what you've seen from Antonio Martin, Josh McCray, those type of running backs, and you throw in Quinshon. Talk about what you're starting to see at that position.
I'm gonna stick to the trend, ballers. I think all the running backs that we saw are home run hitters. They're guys that can take something into nothing, or guys that have definitely SEC speed, guys that can get to that top speed in one step. And it's been a while, maybe. I won't say a while, but Alex Collins was probably the last prolific running back we had come out of Arkansas, and that was around the Sam Pittman time again. So that's coincidence, but I just think those are the type of running backs we're getting. You know, when you talk about 4 and 5 star running backs, and running backs a special position. I think a lot of kids can play the running back position, but when you start talking about those 4 and 5 stars, and some of those 3 too. Because I don't want to just make it seem like stars really determine kids' ability, but in some way they do. You just find more elite talent when they're 4 and 5 star kids, and I think now that we have guys like Sam Pittman and Jimmy, they're gonna go get their 4 and 5 stars, something that we haven't seen since Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Alex Collins. You know, Devois was a 4 or 5 star, a 4 star, I believe. So when you look at it like that, I think he's going to get a different type of running back, though. I think the running backs that he's going to are complete backs, third down backs that are going to have a hard time getting off the field. But I like that we're going to have a stable of high-end running backs.
Well, we're going to continue on and take a real quick break. Let you hear more of our Coach Sam Pittman sit down that on the Hill Sports Talk. We had Demetrius and myself sit down with Sam. And then when we come back, because we're about to load up and continue with the Hall Guys segment, we're heading to Orlando, Florida, Boone High School. We're about to catch up with 5-star 2022 defensive line prospect and new Arkansas offer, Shambre Jackson. He's coming up. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a moment.
Man, I like chicken and waffles. What's a good place I can get some chicken and waffles? I know. KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. Get on down there and see Keith and Kathy. Get a plate of that loving. Like they say on their building, it's not your mama's. The best chicken and waffles in the South. They even got chicken wings, and they got these things called loaded fries. I think you might want to get on down there. Meet me down there or see me down there. KDK's Chicken at 989 Razorback Road.
And when I called him, it was like, for you? I said, no, for Arkansas. He said, I'm there, you know, and he came. Then he stayed, because he's had several offers since he's been here too, and he stayed faithful to the university and to the state and to myself, and he was the first guy. And you know, I had been in contact with Barry when I thought maybe possibly Barry Odom, and maybe possibly I'd get the job. And I understand Barry turned some pretty nice jobs down himself to come be with us at Arkansas. So we kind of got it started rolling a little bit, and then you know, I was sitting here on my phone rings, and if I don't have a contact, it doesn't come up with a contact, then I'm not going to answer it, and I'm not better than anybody. I just, you know, I no telling who it is, and maybe I didn't pay my credit card or something. I don't know, but it was Kendall Browse, and I picked it up, and there was no contact on it, and got to talking to him too. So that's how he kind of got in the mix, and you know, then we just went out and tried to find guys that were good that we played against. Right. I really wanted SEC experience on our staff because I just feel like you need it, and you need it in every aspect, but you need it in recruiting, because the world is just different in the SEC. And you have to understand the league to understand what kind of talent you need to have success in this league. And I wanted to surround myself with guys that understood that.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's our Friday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, coming to you each and every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. on KDSJ 479. And real quick, before we get to our featured guest, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. This would not be possible without those our friends. With that being said, Lindsay and Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion, it's located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. And Corey Beck's Custom Painting. And lastly, the one that you know I love, KDK's Chicken down at 989 South Razorback Road. Get down and see Keith and Kathy, get a plate of that love. And like they say, it's not your mama's, the best chicken and waffles in the South. But Coach Sam Pittman, upon being named the head football coach here at the University of Arkansas, made all prospective fans and recruits aware that Florida would be a high priority made for the University of Arkansas. So we thought we'd head down to Orlando, Florida, and catch up with one of the prize 2022 prospects in all of the land, and for sure in that state. 5-star defensive lineman Shambre Jackson. Sham, welcome to OTH, my man.
I'm proud to be here. It was good.
Demetrius, I'm going to say to my producer and all listeners, start the notion, creating a shambles. That's going to be the new thing if he comes to Arkansas.
Shamble, I like that.
Let's talk about the recruiting process, Shambre. Arkansas comes in with the offer yesterday evening, but talk about that offer, what it felt like, and who are some of the other schools at this moment that are really, really making you a high priority so early in your junior season?
Well, I got offered by Arkansas like a couple days ago, and like kind of shocked me because I wouldn't think because I didn't know they were recruiting me and such, like kind of stunned me because I like Arkansas. They're a good team. And also, I know they're going to be good in the future. Like, the other schools that, like, offer me as well, like Georgia, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Ohio State, mostly everybody. But, like, yeah, Arkansas is a good place.
You had a past relationship. I think you had a chance to meet Coach Sam Pittman while he was the offensive line coach at Georgia. Talk about that relationship.
Yeah. I talked to him before.
How big is that, Shambre, to have him be the head coach here now at Arkansas with the understanding how important the line of scrimmage is in the SEC?
That's really good because you can really connect with a coach that knows his line, O-line, D-line type stuff. Like he knows what's important about that position,
What are you working on in your game since you can't, go through spring ball, can't really be in a facility to lift weights and get the, and do what us, football players normally do? What's the workout like for you so that you can stay in game ready shape once you guys get back on the field?
What I do is my head coach sends out workouts to every football player on the team, and I do that specific workout every day. Because I have a bench in my garage,
right?
And I also run sprints and stuff in my backyard, work on my head techniques for a pass rush or whatever outside. So I'll still work on that, I hope.
Being at the high school there in Orlando, Boone High School, well known for major colleges in particular, the Floridas, Florida States, Alabamas, those type of SC Clemsons, they come into that school. Growing up around that program and being able to see so many players be highly recruited, Shambre, how is that kind of preparing you for what is going to really be a pretty hotly contested process as we continue on?
So it was really good because since the past players went to Florida and stuff like that, Florida knows that school and will come back every year and check out the new players. I said they got to know me and stuff like that, so that's pretty good for current players as well.
How does it help you playing that type of high school football week in and week out, having to go up against a Power 5 offensive lineman, or when you're on the offensive side of the football, a defensive lineman? How do you think that's going to help you in the next 2 years to get you ready for college football?
It's good, man. Going against good competition, big linemen, it helps me. It just helps me any type of way. It just helps me get in better shape, work on my moves more mid-game or practice. It just helps a lot.
Talking with Shambre Jackson out of Orlando, Florida, Boone High School, big-time 5-star 2022 defensive line prospect, was just recently offered by the University of Arkansas. When you are able, Shambre, to get out and take some unofficial visits or official visits, who are going to be some of the places that you and your family had originally scheduled to go, and who are some that you want to get out to that maybe you hadn't had a chance?
My officials probably Oklahoma or Ohio State, maybe Arkansas, because they're pretty far schools from Florida. So I would take them for far school official visits.
Now, what NFL defensive lineman or offensive lineman do you study, Shambre? And
I study Aaron Donald for the LA Rams. He's a beast on the field. I study him, I watch his film and stuff like that. I want to be just like that one day.
Now we're vibing. Let's have a little fun on this. We mentioned the question last night. I don't know if you got the 5 ready, but we're riding around Orlando. I mean, the weather's good because that's just how you do it in Florida. On your playlist, Shambre, what's the first 5 songs we riding to?
I like my old school. So I like Tupac and Biggie. listen to Tupac and Biggie songs. Probably mix it up with like maybe like some new rappers like Lil Uzi, Future. I have a lot of stuff. So
I like that. Now, when I come to Boone High School, I get my 20-ounce cola, popcorn, go to the top of the stadium bleachers. What type of ball player am I going to watch in Shambre Jackson for the 4 quarters once that ball's kicked off?
You're going to see a person that goes 100% every single play and dominates the person in front of him.
What separates Florida football from all other high school football in the country, in your opinion, Sham?
Breed the NFL talent every day. Like, these players in Florida are different than any other place in the country.
Well, we got one last question. I'm going to make a statement, and I want you to finish it for me. When football is done with for Shambre Jackson, he's going to be doing what with his life afterwards?
Probably like an ESPN reporter or something like that. That's a dream.
You got the voice. I can see that. You got the voice for it. And the size. I mean, all big people make good reporters in the football world. But Shambre, hey, let's continue to keep in touch. This phone line is your line. I definitely want you calling during the football season because Demetrius, I'm gonna put him on blast. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan and he's a Patriot fan, and that's AFC. And I'm telling you, Buffalo.
I'm from Kansas, though, bro.
Sham, nobody circles the wagons, bud.
I'm from Kansas.
All right. Well, hey, my man, you have a blessed weekend, and like I said, anytime you want to be a guest, hey, we're more than open to have you. All right.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right.
All right.
That was big time 2022 defensive line prospect, 5-star Shambre Jackson out of Orlando, Florida, Boone High School. And you know I got to go over here to the analyst. He was doing a lot of smiling. You know, and I know when he starts smiling, he liking what he see. But what did you see on was he creating a shambles on the lines of scrimmage?
Well, you definitely a physical kid. Definitely still has potential to grow and really become an NFL body. Just physical. I mean, that's really how I can explain. You wouldn't know he was a 10th grader looking at his film. You know, it just looks very mature for his size.
You know, in that statement in the press conference when Sam was originally hired, Demetrius, he said, "Recruit like you're on steroids," and he always made us. I mentioned he likes big guys. We're starting to really see just the type of big guy that kind of going back to that Trey Tola, Kirkland, Skipper. Ragnow. You see where we kind of getting with that? They're about to really beef it up on the lines of scrimmage because, like we always say, people, it just means more. And it just means more for us to continue on. Let you hear what the head hog had to say. Sam Pittman, and then when we get back, we're heading to the booth to talk with Jacoby Mathews of Ponchatoula, Louisiana, the big-time 5-star safety. We'll get his thoughts. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
A lot of other coaches. Coach O is just one. You'll be going against the likes of Saban, Jimbo Fisher. A lot of coaches in this league that's coached in national championship games. Some have won.
Yeah.
Head coaches or coordinators. You know, how exciting does that make the staff, you guys as a whole, feel to be able to match wits in the coming years with these great staffs and programs?
Well, you know, certainly. You know, you mentioned, Nick Saban and those guys. I mean, those guys are legends in college football world. But once you get on the football field, it's all about the preparation that you've done through the season. It's all about what kind of game plan you have, who do you have, matchups, all those type things. And really that doesn't come into thinking. I can remember the first time we played Alabama, I looked over and I was going, well, we're playing Alabama, and it was kind of like, wow, and all that. And then after the game starts, it's, we played them right out here and they beat us 14-13. But once the game starts, it's all about your kids and do you have them ready to go? Do you have them prepared and all that? But certainly the names that you just said of coaches, it certainly solidifies that one of the greatest leagues in the country is the SEC West.
You talk about your strength and conditioning program. Coach, what's your philosophy as far as strength and conditioning goes for your football program in the SEC going forward?
Well, I think if you look at our team right now, we have to get bigger. So we hired Jamil Walker from Georgia, and we have to get more physical. We have to get bigger. We have to get faster, all those things. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to instill discipline and confidence in the weight room. And but we have to be a bigger football team. Games are won on line scrimmage in this league, and we have to get bigger physically. We have to recruit bigger on the O&D lines. And certainly skill matters, all that. I'm not saying that, but if you can't win up front on either side of the ball, you're going to be in trouble on a Saturday. So we're trying to build confidence in that room.
Welcome back to our Friday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, brought to you here on KDSJ from 1 to 2 p.m. on KDSJ 479. And Arkansas wants to always have boot hogs. And Arkansas and Coach Sam Pittman stated that Louisiana would definitely be a footprint. So Coach Sam Carter and the gang made their way to Ponchatoula, Louisiana, to catch up and offer big-time five-star safety prospect Jacoby Money Mathews. Jacoby, welcome to OTH.
Thank you for having me.
Jacoby, talk about the recruiting process heading into your junior season, rated as a five-star prospect, probably the number one safety in the country by the film that I've watched. Talk about that process and how is it going so early for you?
It's kind of fun that it's happening so early. I didn't think such big schools would come so early, but I mean, I've been working for it, and I guess all the work's paying.
Coach Sam Carter there at the University of Arkansas, the new defensive backs coach, extended the offer out to you for Arkansas. Talk about, when you get a former defensive backs coach, not too far removed as Sam Carter, just graduated in 2014. How big is that to be able to, if you choose Arkansas, to have such a great mentor that did have it and played at a high level during his collegiate time?
I think that'd be good, especially being that, he's pretty much young. He know how I think, and I don't know how he thinks, so I think we're going to win real good.
With Coach Carter being from the New Orleans area and really being able to, feel where you guys come from, understanding that culture, is that something that you guys can connect with? And how much of a factor will that play as far as Arkansas goes as we get further and further on?
I think it's good that they look toward this direction because it's a lot of great people out here that never get looked at. And I feel like some of them need that exposure so people can see what Louisiana really means.
Now, outside of Arkansas, major offers. Name some of the other schools that are really, really making you a high priority so early heading into your junior season.
LSU, Alabama, Mississippi State, Miami, pretty much everyone that offers me. They all make sure they stay in touch close. A lot of schools that haven't offered me yet make sure they stay in touch daily. So I feel good about it all.
What do you feel good about heading into your junior year as far as your football game is concerned? And what are some of the things that you're wanting to improve on, Money?
Probably my waste of movement. Make sure I get in and out of breaks real faster. And this year I'll be switching to the quarterback position. So I'll be able to lead my team the way I want to lead it and make sure everybody stay on track. Make sure everybody put in the work to be good.
Now, we're talking with Jacoby Money Mathews of Ponchatoula, Louisiana, big-time safety prospect. Just mentioned, I know you guys heard it, that he's moving over to the quarterback spot. And for those that may not know, there was a big-time quarterback that you had a chance to play with that's going to be a true freshman at LSU, that being T.J. Finley. With that being said, we spoke last night, and you said T.J. was kind of a mentor. What's he told you about the quarterback position as you move over to play it your last 2 years of high school football?
Always ask him, what can I do to improve myself at quarterback? He let me know. Stay busy with your feet in the pocket. make sure it's not really much of an accuracy thing, but it's more how to put different balls in different positions, different windows. So that helped me a lot. And me just playing alongside him helped me a lot.
I know Ponchatoula's a highly, highly recruited high school. You know, I know you had mentioned a few mentors. Who are some of the guys, Jacoby, that you've watched throughout this process, you know, to kind of help you throughout the process as you have 2 more years, but you've learned just how to handle it? Who are some of those guys?
Ty J. Spears, Jacal Holmes, Jahazel Lee, Tyreek Gibson, Reggie Walker at Kansas State getting ready to go to the league. Well, I miss a lot of them, Coach.
Talking with Jacoby Money Mathews of Ponchatoula, Louisiana High School, big-time 5-star safety prospect, one of Arkansas's main 2022s. But, you know, when you know, talk about who you're able to work out with, Money, as you're not able to do spring ball, can't get into your high school facility. You're on your way to do a workout. Could you tell the listeners who that partner's going to be, and you know what else outside of working out with this special individual, what are you doing to make sure that you stay in shape so when this pandemic passes you'll be ready to go?
Well, I have a lot of different trainers set up for different days to work out. So, but that's early in the day. So when I get back home, I go to a local park in my city and get my teammates together and some of the people that's coming into high school. And I get them to train them with the drills I get from my trainers. So I feel like it's going to pay off to the team.
Being a 5-star, I know you get, kind of teased every now and then. How do you handle that? And what is the leadership role heading into your junior year, being a 5-star? You know, what's coach expecting from you, Money?
My coach is expecting me to do anything I need to do to bring him a state championship these 3 years in a row, and to lead the kids behind me to be the same leader as I was.
Now, when you watch NFL or collegiate football, cornerbacks or safeties or just athletes, that's not put you in a box. Who are some of those guys that you like to watch?
I like watching Jalen Ramsey, Lamar Jackson, and Cameron.
Now, when I'm at Ponchatoula, I get the ticket, the 20-ounce Coke, the popcorn, go to the highest bleacher in the stadium. What type of player will I see in Jacoby Money Mathews for 4 quarters once that ball is kicked off?
An animal. It's going to be fun because I'm not only going to be serious, but I'm going to have fun on the field. The rest of my teammates going to do the same.
Jacoby, what makes the Louisiana football so much more different than any football in the United States?
It's not really a wealthy state, so everybody, every athlete know they have to try their hardest to make it out. So everyone built different down here, but it's a lot of us that don't get looked at.
Could you tell the listeners something that they may not know about Jacoby Money Mathews that maybe you'd like to share with them?
I'm a fun guy, and I'm open for everybody. If you need help, DM me on Twitter.
Now let's have fun. I hope you got your list ready because we just got the car, Jacoby.
Gotcha.
We riding around Ponchatoula. What's the first 5 songs on the playlist that we vibing to?
All right, I'll give you Solid by Lil Baby, Hurtin' by Lil Baby, Freestyle by Lil Baby, 10 Talk by NBA Youngboy, and Leave Someday by Kivo Money.
Man, every time somebody mentions NBA Youngboy, my producer, he gets all excited. He has a really good relationship with NBA Youngboy. But the last question, Money, and I want you to conclude the statement. When football is done with for Jacoby Mathews, he's going to be doing what with his life afterwards?
When football is done for Jacoby Mathews, I'll be broadcasting on ESPN, doing sports analyst.
I can see that, man. I've enjoyed my conversation. And listen, Money, this phone and our line and show is your show. Let's continue to keep in touch as we got 2 more years of this, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, J.A. Have a great workout, a safe trip, and have a blessed weekend. And thanks for taking time out here on OTH.
You too, no problem.
All right. That was Jacoby Money Mathews, five-star safety prospect in the 2022 class out of Ponchatoula, Louisiana. A high priority by Sam Carter, the new defensive backs coach, Barry Odom, and that entire staff, Demetrius. And what's the breakdown on Money?
Just a leader. I don't even want to talk about his ability on the field. Just a phone conversation. Just a young man that really takes ownership of where he at. Likes for people to depend on him, and he likes to take the mantle. He likes the ball in his hands. He likes to be the one coach looks at when it's time to make a play. So I think he can be a great athlete. And I think that's just that, like he said, that Louisiana mentality, just coming from a poverty state. You have to make something out of nothing, and you have to have that animal dog mentality. And I think he's going to be a great player. You can hear it. He sounds like he has that confidence about himself.
Well, that's going to do it for us here today on the Hill. And, man, we've had a great week of Hawkeyes, just a really good week of viewers' questions. And we look for more and more of the recruiting world and the interaction with our fans. We want to give a thank you today to Quinshon Judkins of Pike Road, Alabama, Pike Road High School, for coming on and joining us, the big 2022 big-time four-star running back. He talked Jimmy Smith and where Arkansas sits, and then we talked to Shambre Jackson of Orlando, Florida, Boone High School, the 2022 five-star defensive lineman. Had high praise for Coach Pittman in the Razorback program. And lastly, closed it out by heading down to the boot where we caught up with Ponchatoula, Louisiana High School's five-star 2022 safety, Jacoby. They call him Money Mathews. He spoke about Arkansas and Sam Carter and how Arkansas, just what things are regarding the Razorbacks. And lastly, want to give a thank you to our sponsors before we get out of here. That being said, Lindsay & Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location too in Rogers. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. And lastly, KDK's Chicken. They're down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith and Kathy, and like they say, it's not your mama's best chicken and waffles in the South. And lastly, before we get out of here, I'm going to kick it over to my producer. For those that have just tuned in and you would like to catch any type of social media from On the Hill Sports Talk, Demetrius, can you tell them one last time what platforms they can catch OTH on?
Yeah, you can catch us on YouTube at On the Hill Sports Talk LLC, Sauced Up Entertainment. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play, any major streaming platform on the Hill Sports Talk.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it for my producer. For myself, you guys have a great and blessed weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one, and let's get it.
Baby God.